Good evening, everyone. How are you all doing? Welcome back, as per usual, to the Thursday Promenade Ballroom. I'm your host, as per usual, Cake, and I'm joined tonight by Lazarus and Roku. How are you two doing?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Thank you, Cake. Like I said, I was a little bit ill today. I think a lot of people were coming down with after Kiana Cup, but no, I'm feeling good, I think Uni 2 came out as well today, so I'm sure some people were busy playing that. But no, I'm still sticking around for some Grand Blue action. I've been having a lot of fun.
Yeah, everything's good on this side of the road as well. Just chilling. Excited to see what the third set's gonna give us, because I want to see some more Hasan from Light. Hoping to steal some stuff from there, because I've been playing that character the past week or so almost exclusively. But before that, we have two more sets, so it's going to be a long evening. The first one's going to kick off
is coming up
now. Yeah.
Yeah, we got Ordanen versus Sunko.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. Djeeta versus Yuel. I like both of these characters, I won't lie. Yuel, not a character I thought I'd enjoy, but honestly, I'm a Yipper too now, I guess. This character is a lot of fun, obviously very mobile. And excellent buttons in that mid-range, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's just really fun, this version of the game, and she just fits Rising a little bit better than she did Base.
Yeah.
GA is, I would say, functionally almost the same, with the difference that she's no longer the top dog, is she?
Well, people would obviously, would assume that, but I think she's still obviously a very strong character.
Yeah.
You see it's still represented as by possibly the best player in the world, like Gamma.
Absolutely.
And she, still Queen of Footsies, still can be very difficult to play around some of these amazing buttons, and obviously there's the EX Vocal Blade and the Ultimate Vocal Blade as well, being an excellent addition to Kit. It's definitely very good for Djeeta.
Speaking of the game, that was a lovely throw onto that Heavy Fox lane. Ordanen is a player that I feel like is just always very alert. I really love watching them play. Like, one of the first people that I played long sets with when I started playing Grand Blue, and honestly, they have helped me so much. But I remember just feeling at times like, this guy just is reacting to everything I do instantly. This is like cheating. It was very frustrating at the time.
The reactive players who they actually just got that, they've got the reactions down. It feels awful. It feels like you can't play the game sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially against a character like Djeeta, man. Yeah, nice punish from the far end as well. Excellent. You have to cancel it into something safe there if you're the UL player there.
Yeah, first game very quickly going to the side of Ordanen. Honestly, yeah, it's just, I really love the way that it plays, and I really love the way it plays Djeeta specifically, because I feel like it's not just reactions, right? It's always about the way that he thinks about the game, and that knows the other person's options, knows his options, and sort of like works through that. And I think that's also something very interesting to look at in a long set as well, in those first attempts. Having a quick, I think, costume change from Sunko here.
Color change, looks like maybe they didn't have the right color on. That was, that I get that. Sometimes that feels bad. But no, you're absolutely right about Ordanen, because I do feel like that punish from the far end is something that you know, right? You can basically fuzzy it in a way, right there. I think you probably tried the same. Did get frame trapped by the Starlight Sky, but that's going to happen sometimes. But again, the risk reward's kind of in your favor. You don't have too much nice it can from the far end. There's so much damage off of the raising strike chain as well. Being able to go straight into the 2-2 view is so strong.
Yeah, this is kind of like the new bread and butter for mid-screen feels like reveal, which is really strong. And in general, getting those new links for Rising and all the new tools just make it look so much more appealing as a pick in a way, because it just does all those flashy things that she couldn't do before. I really like it.
And it's just especially mid-screen, right? Like, you do spend the bravery point, which can come back to bite you later on. But especially like for a character where you wouldn't normally get very much off this far end confirmed, being able to take the opponent straight to that corner is like a pretty huge advantage. It's definitely worth that investment.
Yeah. This is generally a matchup that also, at least in theory, I feel like is probably, Djeeta favored due to the way that her buttons function, and you know, she's not a slow character either. Yes, Yuel does have like the fastest running speed in the game, I think, or like one of the fastest. But Djeeta is one of the characters that can match that with her buttons. So it's really about just how well you're prepared for your opponent's options. It's like a very fundamental, in a way, sort of matchup. There's a lot of options that come up when Yuel does the backflips and how you want to approach that. There was a very interesting discussion about that specifically a couple of days ago in the cake board about how a lot of times maybe you should just always basically go for the dash L after you see a backflip, because what's the worst thing that can happen? You just get parried, basically.
I could see definitely that argument there.
Which is interesting.
It depends on the ranges and stuff.
Yeah.
Probably get whiff. I mean, I'd say you could get whiff punish, but then we're talking about 6XL here. Like, you're not getting whiff punish. but it's certainly like something to think about.
It's interesting because I think it's very nuanced, right? Because yes, even though like it might be, for example, like I'm not like 100% on it, but like the way that people are presenting it, it might be the best option. But there's still a lot to think about it. Like, is it always the best option? Do I sometimes go for this? This combo limit, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And
and meter as well, which they're thinking of how that could be hit confirmed. That would definitely be confirmed into EX Starlight Sky. Yeah, straight. Link into the SSBA more than enough for Sunko. And honestly, that color change has been doing him wonders.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah.
3 rounds straight.
Looking definitely alive and well in this set. Both players definitely going through it for now. Like the first games are always a little bit faster, I feel like, in these first 2 10s. So it's much more about like looking at the adaptations, because the first games are probably like mostly going to go through your layer 1s. But again, this is like this sort of matchup for fundamentals is just brilliant. You're gonna have to see that.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, like, as well, you can play a little bit sloppy, you know. You do have quite a few invincible options to, like, you know, RPS your opponent. But ultimately, you know, you're a character with just good normals and no projectile. You're going to have to play fairly standard. Obviously, you do have that third dance, which can definitely put in a lot of work versus someone who doesn't understand completely how to beat it. But I think Ordanen's kind of shown that, you know, he's not afraid of that.
Yeah. And between like the Djeeta's 2U and her dash medium, which is a low rise, she does have some pretty nice options to deal with that. Obviously, there's again, this is something that I really like about Yuel this game. I feel like there's a lot of, even though she's like this sort of like simplistic character in terms of the game plan, there's I feel like quite a bit of nuance more compared to base, at least, on how you want to approach, because there was this sort of like meme. Does catch? Yes, the vortex.
Gonna hit, yes, and obviously takes the 2 BP point, 0 BP now, and this is gonna be a big chunk. And the next hit could potentially seal it out. Goes for range strike. You won't be able to link it from there. Yeah, mid screen. You cannot get anything if they're blocking it. But you know, if he did press, you know, and that did hit, he would have been able to confirm off it. So I respect it. Not enough to kill, but chip definitely a factor. The EXDP busted now, and yeah, I respect that.
Yeah, on chip point, your only option at this point is to spot the bats. Even blocking, I'm pretty sure would have killed. So that's just an awkward situation to be put at. But going back to the previous point about base, is also that she had this sort of like reputation of, oh, you blocked me, I guess I'm just gonna have to DP now. Which doesn't feel like is the case anymore, and that's really nice.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's because you got strong defensive mechanics with the BC and stuff like that. And, like generally, fuzzy tacking and stuff like that is so powerful in this game without the universal overhead to blow it up. That you can defend pretty easily. Like, well, you can defend for a while in this game. So your opponent has to take a bit of a risk to open you up.
Yeah. And just love this the way that Sunko went through his offense here. Just this nice like little frame trap that just been much more prevalent in Rising, from the close light into the close heavy, just really smokes people, it feels like, when looking out for the throws, which is also a very strong option. Now, also really like the way that Ordanen is going out about those backflips. He's been doing the... I'm not sure if it's the light or the medium wrecker. I'm assuming it's the light after the backflips and just trying to take his turn back, which makes sense again, because again, what's the worst that can happen? You can't like get hit by the follow-up at this point. So it's just like an overall positive interaction, it feels like. Oh, there's a DP. Just trying to steal back the turn. Is it blocked?
Badly. Coming out. It's not. It's not. Oh god, 0 BP. Ooh, that's a, yeah. Think you're alive? Like just?
No.
Never mind.
Yeah, I wasn't exactly sure about Sunko's life total before that, but I was like, I'm pretty sure this kills. This is a bit of a weird thing, right? Like in base, every time there's a super on the screen, you're like, nah, this doesn't kill. No way. And I was like, yeah, this probably kills. I'm pretty sure it's dead. Very nice answer, yeah.
Very, very cool. It's a nice conversion as well. Oh, okay. Go for the finish on the record. Big damage. Let's go to PC out, but we've seen what happens when you spend 1 point early on. If you get hit by an SPCA now, you're kind of already cooked. You have to keep on the offense there. Nice hit confirm. Good medium record.
Yeah, I think BC usage as well in this sort of matchup is very interesting and very telling of how a player wants to approach the matchup specifically. Because a lot of people are sending their BC very, very quickly, just don't want to hold any sort of like plus frames or offense. It kind of makes sense. Offense is quite powerful, even though what you said is true. Like, at the end of the day, you can kind of block forever, but also you don't want to, because once you're hit, your life just goes away very quickly. So everyone's just like kind of scared of that moment. And this, just the willingness of just using that out as the CRPS.
It's also the fact that obviously spending the BC through the brain cancel to get out of the situation, gets you out of that situation, and it starts your own offense. I think that's kind of the very more applicable thing for a lot of people. It's like, oh, I can just start my turn whenever I want. Which is definitely a very, very strong option, especially if you get that counter here, also the hard knockdown. You can often side swap out of the corner in like a safe jump manner. And, yeah, it's just so good. It's honestly very scary, and obviously it's very hard to bait as well, so you kind of just have to accept it, and then hope you can BC them back in some situations. But like I said, you spend it early, you won't have it later on, you're going to take more damage, and for some characters, you know, chipping someone out is a very real win condition, and so you're actually looking for it to be able to do that rather than just get them off you one time.
Yeah, speaking of chip, like, this is another very weird situation, right? Like, Ordanen's very, very low, basically on like 300 health or so. So once you get the offense and you get DC, you're basically on chip point, which is just really opposite situation to be put on.
Yeah, it's really difficult. To be fair, I think for sure Yuel is one of the worst characters at doing that. No projectile, you know, all the specials quite committal, so not able to like chip you up from afar or anything like that. So we'll have to take a bit of a risk to put you in a bloodstream first. So there's definitely that. Whereas someone like Djeeta could definitely get more benefit out of just like I said, putting someone on chip point with BC and then putting it out from there.
Really good to see, again, the reactions on that Heavy Fox Flame. It's gone unanswered a couple times after the first round, but going back at it again, there's the Rage Chain combo with that as well before. Honestly, things have been kind of stock standard by this point. Like, we're just seeing some, you know, we're seeing footsies, we're seeing pressure, and just both players so far have been kind of committing to the options. That was, it reached.
Yeah,
Damn.
I mean, that far heavy, man. They don't mess around, but yeah, there we go. We saw that the dash out. Didn't get the punish right, but it was perfectly in range to just press that far heavy, and obviously from that range, even you know if you get parried or whatever, it's nothing to worry about. And obviously stuffed either the jump hop back or even the Guren, anything like that is a very real threat.
Yeah, Ordanen has been very willing to just press the buttons, but you know they don't really pose a whole lot of risk to him, which is obviously great. Like a lot of those options, you know, when you're playing, when you're on the Yuel, in your ranked matches or whatever, and you're against the Djeeta, and you just keep getting pressed, and you're like, oh, this guy's mashing, but it's not mashing at all. Like, it's just, I feel like quite quite a calculated risk that Ordanen's been taking, which is kind of like, I feel like, the name of the matchup. So I really like the approach. That's the PC.
Out. I think we can definitely do mix up some time. Pick up yes. Covered in. I like that option though. Still not enough to kill. Just find one more hit. But, Djeeta as well. So the SSBA. Oh no,
that felt like a miss input to me because it was like immediate after just one normal connected.
Yeah, you just got crossed up as well, so it might have been you got like some sort of cross-cut input from there. That was very unfortunate, but it's gonna happen, and at least like with longer sets, you feel those kind of mistakes a little bit less.
I'm also kind of a fan of these CKPSs from Sunko because it didn't start off using those from the get-go, but just started off like kind of easing into this option. It has been working out okay, but again, due to like the way that Bristol Wood works right now in this version of the game, it's also just not that great, right? Because at least before you would get this hard knockdown from the DP, and you don't really you kind of don't lose your turn, but this is gonna be painful. This is gonna be death.
That's gonna be quite for sure. He's fancy mid-screen there. Probably close that one. But yeah, like that is the problem, right? Before that was actually sick RPS because you get that hard knockdown and start your own offense. Now you're not really. You just get out of a bad situation. And even there, we can see that the EX hammer actually normally a pretty good option in these minus range situations, but Ordanen's just answering it every time.
This has happened twice, I think, or 3 times just this game. Okay, really, wasn't just about to talk about this. Really would like to see a bit more of JUs, because Ordanen's been spot on with those anti-air 2Hs. Oh, that's gonna be the raw. Yeah, doesn't matter. Anything would have killed this point.
Yeah. It's done Raging Strike, try and keep that real easy. But yeah, I mean, that is a risk you do take whenever you wake up with these, SSBAs and stuff. So they do have quite a bit of slow start. So whereas like a normal reversal might have caught their button of recovery, like the SSBA, of course, a little bit too slow there.
Yeah, and it kind of feels like at this point, Ordanen's just been taking the better half of these of the set. Just feels a little bit more confident, I feel like, in his options. Feels like Sunko just kind of started throwing out those reversals, both in an attempt to just steal his turn back and perhaps as a sign of frustration of what's been happening. So just needs a little bit more, I feel like, patience from Sunko. Get back, get composed once again. Because I think a lot of the things that he's been doing have been pretty good. But Ordanen's just been a little bit better at answering. I'm a little bit deceived. I got thrown out the spectate.
Yeah,
so...
me too. I'm glad you did.
Oh, okay. So we're just watching the game in. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, just watching the game in quick motion. Yeah, it's gonna be a meltdown for Ordanen. Felt like it was also really definitive on his side. Just took that corner and very quickly ran away with it.
Yeah, I like what you're saying though about you do kind of have to let him be a little bit patient, especially if your opponent's got really good answers to your typical steal turn moves. Usually got RPS that situation a little bit better. But it is tough, right? When you got something like 6XL in the game where it kind of like is a catch-all.
Yes, exactly. Because going back to something that you said quite a while ago, effectively you can block if your opponent goes into the 6XL into far light or far medium or whatever bottom they follow up the 6XL with. They can do that forever, and you're in no danger in reality from that, right?
Yes.
And it's not like they're building. We're not playing Guilty Gear. They're not building Risk or something to blow you up. But it's so annoying having to hold that. It's so annoying.
Especially if you're like mid-screen, they're just gonna push you to the corner, and then now you're at like real risk. That's the bit that scares me the most. Is like, if you do decide just to sit and block like that, you will eventually push to the corner. Nice bait on the EX Roman sword there. We're gonna cash this out with the super, no doubt. Crimson Dance coming in. Like it. You know what? Yuel doesn't have the best ultimate skills in general, so you see that her user super is way more than those characters. Nice and confirmed from
It should kill?
That should be enough.
Yeah.
2H? Oh no, 5H. Just
very nice. Yeah, like you see a lot of that ultimate Fox Flame, but the rest not so much.
The Scarlet Sky is kind of, it's a lariat type move, moves pretty fast, pretty far, but doesn't really offer you any mid-screen wall bounce or anything like that, so hard to use in that respect. And then you got the Hanarashi, the ultimate back dive, which is a really good throw baiting option. But she's already got pretty good throw bait options just with her.
I think
dance type. Yeah.
I think I have never once seen the ultimate backflip in my games. I think I just realized. I think I've never seen it.
It's a good option. It's an awkward one to try and throw bait with. It is plus and things like that. So there is no backflip. She just does like the forward follow up basically.
Yeah.
But nice.
Back on the board.
There we go. Sunko, yeah, back on the board. Getting some momentum after that high speed gaming. But yeah, it's kind of a weird one. Like, yeah, it should be good in reality because it's like plus, you can do it raw. It's pretty fast. It's good at bait throws, and it's still your turn if they block. But you just never see it.
Yeah, I mean, I low-key had just forgotten that it exists. Because you see the ultimate dash, Silent Sky sometimes, and obviously there's this funny times. Oh, I just DP'd. Now I have meter, so he's another DP even though he's on cooldown.
Yeah, true.
Do a little bit of scam weaver.
I feel like you see ultimate DPs much less if the person has a standard DP.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of a fan of just being a scumbag and just being like, oh, you blocked my DP, but didn't immediately punish. I'm just mashing my ultimate. Hope there's no gap there for you.
Again, he's not working out.
And I'm just not sure whether or not they are intentional or they are like a solid Sky that just ended up, being read as a DP due to the forward movement.
Bounce start far, dash heavy as well, all the way to the corner. Big damage as well. Nice link off of the DP as well. Jeez, that was like 35% just through one dash heavy. Of course, I like these dash heavies that like generally they have no special properties other than they get a massive reward on hit.
Yeah, and in reality, not everyone's. I feel like some characters just have so much stronger dashing heavies compared to others. Djeeta has a pretty nice dash heavy. Ram, I guess. Vera's dash heavy. They love that lot.
Bowser Bub's pretty good, pretty big. Takes up half the screen.
Yeah, it's just those really meaty buttons getting that really satisfying hit in. Now there's going to be the BC.
Yeah,
next one
left.
Yeah. Next one is going to kill it with connect, but locking this into the kill. Very nice. Yeah, and I feel like Sunko has been getting a little bit more patience, which is exactly what we wanted to see. Just try to take stock of those options. Still, we have those like FE mid-screen DPs, which we're not sure why.
Yeah, it must be misinput. Or you're trying to like hard react to some
I think
there.
Probably both. Some of them could have been misinput. Some of them are definitely. I'm just sending this. Because again, we've talked about this before, but when you're playing at the first to 10, and you're like on game 8, I think we are right now, you might as well just send some stuff here and there, see what works, see what sticks. Another thing that I'm always a fan of when we're looking at these first to 10s is when you keep using an option that has been answered. Not like in an aggressive way, like I'm just gonna keep TPing on every wake up, but I feel like that's something that players, especially on those longer sets, is good to utilize. That okay, this doesn't work, so I'm never gonna use it again. So then this option is just like completely out the window. Because mental stack is a huge part of this game.
Yeah, and like generally you can open up these options by, you know, either playing slower or doing something else. Like for example, doing the minus frame straight into the Hanarashi, the backdash, hasn't worked. But what you can do is sit there, wait for them to 6XL, and then do it. You know, just literally one step extra, waiting for them, because then I doubt they're going to do 6XL just into 6XL again. You know, so you still get to do that RPS. You just got to wait one extra layer. You know, obviously they get an opportunity to like strike throw you there, but then the next time you just do it straight away when they're trying to wait for you to do it delayed and things like that. Even it's like the option's still there. You just got to change the timing basically.
Yeah. Yep, that makes sense. The way you said it exactly is the way I was thinking about it. Now, I don't know how it is on your screen. I'm back on the Ultra Instinct Gaming, but I'm seeing a lot more. I don't know if it's because, you know, the game isn't like 3 times the speed, but I kind of feel like we're seeing a little bit more of Sunko's third dance stance. Which hasn't been incorporated as heavily, I feel like, in the offense. It's something that a lot of Yuels like to use, but then once it gets kind of blown up a few times, they become very scared, I feel like, to use it. So I like it being reintroduced back into the mix of options.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting thing. I think obviously Sunko isn't originally a UL player, right? So it's definitely the most complicated part about the character. So it's something you definitely need to spend more time with to like fully understand. To know like, how to read options and read stance, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, like, you know, I watch really good UL players and they definitely making a lot of good use out of that stance all the time. You know, just cancelling it from the interval and mixing it up. You know, like I said, the mental stack is huge. And just doing
Exactly.
it in situations where, you know, your opponent doesn't expect is
yes.
yeah, it should be plenty.
Very nice.
Get so much mileage out of that farm media that he can farm into the Raging Strike. Honestly, that button's still absolutely incredible. And you know what? Even better with Raging Strike in the game now, being able to eat into so much damage with screen.
Yeah, it's quite reminiscent of the rush attacks from base.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes stronger, sometimes weaker, depending on the situation, but it does have this like, oh, I just did the sick far medium into you are absolutely dead. Which, you know, a lot of characters are fan of. Yeah, absolutely. There's the 668, unfortunately does not link into the ultimate wrecker, which would have been a huge
pretty tight. I imagine that dash heavy is like plus 14 on counter hit or something, and I think the ultimate Vulcan blade is like 14 frames. It's 13. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, just one of those tight links. There's quite a few of these, especially if you're trying to link into all the skills. You gotta be very good at putting it to the button.
Yeah, it's a bit of like a kind of taking your risk there. Like, this might drop, but at least I'm not Grand, so I'm not getting like instantly punished for getting that blocked. So yeah, it's a very strong option that Djeeta like can at least it's not like a neutral skip or whatever. I'm not just like pressing it mid screen and if it hits I'm destroying you. But having that as another option is very strong. This is gonna be dead with the STA. And honestly, yeah,
quite far behind in terms of games, but you know, not too many games realistically. Just a couple rounds and then you're slowly being in and out.
And it feels like Sunko has been a bit more proactive in the first couple of games and getting a lot of momentum back. Ordanen is not one to drop it. Unfortunately, he's going to drop it on a completely back throw. Probably not having any of that.
Swords running up for the throw, and the home delayed for 2L coming in from Sunko. We'll get a full confirm off of it, but still scary situation. The next hit can definitely do it, and the blade going into the super could be
Absolutely. I'm a huge fan of run up throw. Just like sprint like a rabid animal onto your opponent and just throw them. In hard maybe. I don't know. I just feel like it's both kind of funny, but it's also quite effective in specific situations. And throws are just really strong in this game. One of the few ways to get those hard knockdowns. Right?
It is very fast as well, so it's like your opponent literally just press that. They try and check you just a few frames too late. Well, yeah, your full frame grab's just gonna snatch them out of the startup.
Really like the way that on the combo is structured, despite missing a few cooldowns.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good point. We haven't really seen much of the. We haven't seen very much of the fireball in this matchup at all, which I think generally is a pretty good idea versus Yuel. She does have a jump heavy, which is pretty good. Jumping over fireballs and forcing you to block or beat punish. But in general, she doesn't have the best tools to go and beat. Nice, and gotta throw that grave strike.
Yeah, I feel like Ordanen just doesn't feel like perhaps that he needs to incorporate the fireball as much.
Maybe, yeah.
Now, obviously, yes, I understand your point, but I still think that it does carry some risks in this matchup just because of how quick Yuel is and can be. But at the same time, yeah, this is a very valid observation. That's a.
We saw him use it for like a little bit, and it looked like Sunko was a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Big super jump heavy out of that corner, and immediate.
Very nice.
Eternal tendency to bust out. Okay, I like that. You know what? When you got that much health lead, like, you just send it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? And I mean, again, in that situation, what's the worst that can happen? It gets parried, and okay, you've lost your meter. Sure, not a good time. But you can probably build back some meter. Oh, that's a side swap as well. Yeah, very aware of that. Into a big combo is going to be the SBA, I'm assuming. No, combo limits.
Actually, combo limit, yeah. Should have catch that a bit sooner, but in the scramble,
doesn't matter.
Sport mashing. I think you still live here, just about, but and it's a scary situation. You do get hit by this SBA.
No,
just a slither, but
this is a base.
Definitely. Yes. Oh, okay. No meter to follow it up. That was chip. You had to spot dodge or do something special there.
Yeah, this was a situation where I feel like this Raging Strike makes sense, even though you cannot do the follow-up because it's just guaranteed to put your opponent into that chip spot, right? And then just throw a fireball, see what happens after that. The fireball connects either way, so finish the round this way.
I think it's one of those as well. When your opponent has SSBA, being on 1 or 2 bravery points doesn't really matter because they're both essentially the same.
Yeah, that makes sense. But then once you're on that 2 points and you're about to get the damage penalty kicking in, not a very good time.
Ow, Jesus, that close heavy still catches.
Unfortunately, can't get much of that.
Ow, nearly got that with punish with the ball play. It is -4 though. He did a lot of chunk and chip, to be fair. Now, Sunko, you have to be very afraid, landing 3 throws and a throw now. Trying to go for a frame trap, another one with the Fox Flame. Has to be very careful. Oh my god, a hit confirm in from that 6XL. Could have been an it. Oh my god, how many throws is that? Oh, in the end.
Unfortunate.
The 2M.
But both players have been using those throws to sort of like bait out the Brave counters, but it seems like both of them have started being a little bit more comfortable with throwing, so I just really like the fact that they are just, ready to counter that with those empty jumps, with those throws. It's a very small option. Honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. I like to see the next layer as well. Like we've seen, someone do minus frames and then you do the walk up throw. I want to see the walk up slowly into button,
Yeah, just absolutely.
Yeah, that's
established dominance.
Yeah. That's neuron activation when that happens.
Yeah. Like if it's a close heavy into a counter hit, that's like the absolute dopamine hit.
Oh. Nice kick confirmed on the counter hit 6XL. I don't know if actually wake up SSBA. Is that gonna work? I don't think you're invincible enough. Yeah. Unfortunate.
And even if you were, I feel like the range between the 2 characters was so large that the vortex effect from the SSBA would not matter at all. So it was basically a losing situation. Either way, being a losing situation, starting this one around with DP.
Potential last game right now for Sunko. Ordanen on, you know, last game potentially. Nice, let's go. That 2U really is just so hard to contest that third dance. You have to get really good at timing the medium, the 5M from the third dance to be able to blow up the lows, but it's not easy to do.
Ordanen's down to just one breakthrough point. Ooh, gets a big 2M there into the corner.
Oh.
The roll through.
Okay.
That is not what I was expecting, but works out either way.
I never thought about that though. What happens if you roll through a raging strike? I assume nothing. Like you don't get the slowdown and stuff, but I never really thought about it.
I'm pretty sure it depends on timing, because there's definitely going to be some timings where you're in like your recovery frames or whatnot, and you just get crumpled. The same way that you get crumpled if you press a button, right? And you get raging strike. Yeah, so
nice and safe. You can definitely chip out. Oh my god, the sky pool, that's his BA. It's gonna land no clean hit, just a bit too far out, I think. Still, pretty worthwhile range strike. Nice. You got no me to follow it up though. That's the last BP from Sunko.
And there it is.
The ultimate Hanarashi. Pop it in. I mean, hey, it would have done a grip of chip, and obviously is +4. So.
And I feel like it was just a really solid option on that specific situation. You don't have BP, so you don't really want to engage in like a stagger war. So you're just using this option that's relatively safe, kills on hit, puts you in an advantageous position. Like if Ordanen uses a BP to grave counter that, that's pretty much fine.
Fine, yeah. It won't be counter hit, so.
Ooh, there's a gap there. Unfortunate.
Oh, reversals. SBA not going to work out. And immediately just going to cash in for as much damage as possible with the Raging Strike. And got the corner as well.
Maybe slightly overrated on this in this one to pull the trigger, but you know, has the huge game advantage at this point still. It's 9 to 5, yes. So I guess if you're feeling pretty comfortable to throw those riskier options as well. I've been liking those round sets as well from both players. Sunko has been using the dash M a lot.
Yep.
And now it feels like Ordanen has been taking note of that, started to space himself a little bit differently, started using his own dash attack. It's going to be a very good check with no punish.
Frame so, we take those. Now has the corner control, looking to keep it, no confirm there. Into the EX Starlit Sky. Dash heavy. Probably not punishable from that range. The clash, both buffered in. Nice bait. And wait, on the rising sword, but no, swaps them out. But wait a minute, what are we getting tricky with this? The reset into the Raging Strike. Probably not looking for that, but now no BP on the side of Sunko, on Ordanen.
Yeah, and this is a weird situation. Ooh, this is gonna kill.
Yeah, that's something we haven't seen at all, really, that low from the EX Hanarashi.
Really, and I feel like it was just a very appropriate spacing to use that, because it wasn't like using to reset the pressure, but rather just as a long range low option. So it's not like Ordanen can just react to that with the dash attack or with the Rekka or any of the options that we've been using to pull out those
it's also just very fast, like compared to the plus frame hop. It is just incredibly fast, and if you think it's the hop and you try and check it, you get counter hit. I think that's probably what just happened. The dance. Okay, takes the throw, immediately challenging as well.
Yeah, you really don't want to be in the corner against any character, but being in the corner against the third dance is very annoying, specifically.
Yeah.
This is a lot of damage.
Sunko definitely doesn't feel 100% comfortable with doing it. I think Djeeta as well is a good character against it. Hard to utilize. SSBA here. Good. Oh my god, beautiful throw again. Oh my god, the Rising Sword actually not enough.
Get tripped by the low there.
Yep. Might have been trying to buffer that super or something there. Either way, that's going to be Ordanen on set point now.
Ooh, big counter hits. We're taking the corner.
Oh, you just can't get out, man. The spacing.
Yeah.
From Ordanen, making this look so painful.
Yeah, just basically shutting most options there with that spacing. And just being very comfortable with that. Another back throw incident.
So many of these, and there's the far medium hit confirmed as well. Should cash this out into that SSBA. Or just going to save the meter, never mind.
Probably going to be going for that now. I did spend the BP.
Now,
is it this time? Yes, it is.
Not going to kill, though, but probably leaving a situation where throw will kill. Would we get up to some third dance shenanigans? No?
It is a bit scary, though. Sunko is a health auto well. Basically everything kill. Not that one.
You just have to worry about SSBA now.
Oh, it's clipped. Another back throw. Oh my god.
Yeah, these just immediate wake up throws. Definitely catching Ordanen off guard. Either trying to delay a button there or just missing his meter timing. I'm sure.
Yeah, honestly, it's just something that a lot of people. Big counter there. A lot of people just feel like they really like to do, and I get it. Throw is very quick in this game.
Yes.
But every time that it happens, I'm like, that shouldn't have worked.
Yeah, it's such a quick. I mean, it is a genuinely high-level strategy. If someone's used to you delaying a lot, doing it immediately will blow up their timings.
Yeah.
Big cash out here for the SSBA.
And I mean, it's been working fairly well so far. That's the cash outs.
All right. Again, another situation where just one touch will do it. Oh, the delayed throw. Definitely look at maybe chip point here.
Yeah, very close to that
brave
point.
Counter.
Should be here now. It's a big counter hit.
Animation as well. There you go. That's a lot of damage.
It feels like even though Ordanen is a chip point, it's kind of anyone's game at this point.
Yeah, because again, like, I mean, how does Yuel, you know, okay, you should be able to get it from. Oh, this.
There it is. Yeah.
No way, thought they had it right there with the EXDP, but Ordanen with that awareness to spot dodge at the last second. Very nice.
Yeah, because that's exactly how you're going to go about it. I'm Yuel. I don't have the fireball. I don't have like this any sort of special that's just like taking up the entire screen. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do the invulnerable reverser, but yeah, Spodge